Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Mobile VR Reviews. I'm your host, Guy Manspeed, and today I'll be reviewing Heroes of the Seven Seas for the Gear VR. The publisher describes it as a first-person role-playing game featuring naval and land-based battles, but what is it really like? Heroes of the Seven Seas is developed and published by Mirage Interactive, which, according to their website, has over 100 employees with more than 500 years of combined experience creating games. The game was released on the Gear VR in July 2016, where it is available today for $4.99. The game was also released for the Oculus Rift in September 2016 for $6.99. I've only played the Gear VR version, but from what I can see in the trailer, the two versions appear to be identical. You start the game and, through a nicely drawn but poorly voice-acted comic book cutscene, you're told you're a wanted pirate in possession of a magical artifact. You start outside a tavern in a town and can walk around using the teleport method. You're restricted to a small area of the harbor with only a few people to talk to, none offering anything interesting. After a few minutes of looking around, you get bored and do the only thing you can: get on your small ship and set sail. You go through the sailing and combat tutorial, and then the game lets you loose. This part is where the game shines brightest. You find a man floating in the water and pick him up, and he tells you to go after the ship in the distance. Sure, why not? You sail in circles, firing your cannons and avoiding enemy fire until you eventually damage the ship enough to board it, and are put into a very short shooting gallery sequence, the first of only two in the whole game, with the other being the grand finale. You eliminate the pirates and, hooray, the ship is yours. Had this been representative of the rest of the game, the experience might have been more enjoyable. Imagine sailing the seas, attacking then hijacking better ships, picking up crew members, using stolen booty to buy better weapons, and becoming a pirate king. Man, that would be sweet, and would actually fit the role-playing description. Unfortunately, this game does none of that. From this point on, the game is a linear series of 6 arenas where you battle more ships and sometimes land-based enemies. These battles are actually enjoyable, even if somewhat repetitive. The game pits you against stronger enemies and changes up the arena obstacles as you advance. The battles are loosely held together by confusing and pointless land sequences where you can move, but are restricted to very specific areas. Again, you can talk to other characters, but it's basically impossible to follow the story they're trying to tell. Somebody says something about Blackbeard, then a pirate competition, then a sea monster eats you for no reason and with no effect, and some people tell you to hate Magellan. Then suddenly a giant squid and skeletons. What? You can try to read more of the story in the captain's log, but that much text in VR is just criminal, and the diary entries are often poorly written. Okay, so the linear game progression is not very RPG-like. What about character development? None to be found. What about your equipment? Well, you can upgrade your ship, but it happens in a strange way. You don't collect gold or treasure and then strategically spend it on upgrades. You just suddenly get level 2 of a ship component unlocked for progressing through the game. And there are only 2 levels to each component, except for the bow gun only having 1. There's no earning of anything. You finish an arena, here's a new cannon. Finish another arena, new sails. And there's no reason to use anything but the level 2 versions of the components. Yes, you get more powerful and faster, but it's just automatically setting you up for the next arena. The way equipment upgrades are handled here seems lazy. The controls are functional for the most part. A controller is not required, but as always I recommend using one since there can be a lot of commands you need in battle. The head-aimed weapons function fine, and steering the ship with the analog stick or by tilting your head works well enough. Overall, I'd say the gamepad controls are solid, with the touchpad controls being a little overwhelming in light of all the different weapons to manage. But there is one major issue I have with the controls. When you choose gamepad controls at the start of the game, this completely disables the Gear VR touchpad and the back button, meaning you can't access the Oculus menu to check notifications, battery life, recenter the headset, and so on. You can't even exit to Oculus Home this way, you have to use the game's pause menu. At least they built in a way to let you do that, but it's standard practice that you don't mess with the function of the back button. The graphics are interesting. The hand-drawn visuals, such as the comic book cutscene and wanted posters, are appealing and set the style of the game. The character models are detailed and follow the art style of the wanted posters. They come off looking like PlayStation 2 character models, but in higher resolution, and they do look good, especially this one. The environments are a mixed bag. Your starting location is the largest land location you'll see in the game, and has the most detailed models despite having some very low resolution textures. Later land locations, like this island, seem quickly slapped together with some basic textures applied. On the water, things are similar. The water effect is convincing enough, the ship bobs semi-realistically on the sea without making you too sick, and the other ship models are colorful and match the comic style of the character models. They're not the prettiest graphics you'll see on the Gear VR, but the style is attractive and coherent. Then we have the text. Oh, so much text. Yes, the characters have spoken dialogue, but it's always accompanied by speech bubbles with text that sometimes doesn't match. And the book, which is supposed to act as some kind of level select menu, is just terrible. This might work on console and PC games, but in VR, reading that much text is just not comfortable. On a brighter note, I found the music in the game was appropriately piratey and well suited for adventure on the high seas. It's as if the music was intended for a game with a larger scope than what ended up being released. The sound effects, like cannon firing, are decent, but could use a bit more bass to really convey the power. The voice acting ranges from adequate
To this Navy flag, friends once more,
to laughably bad.
Don't take off! I am sleeping.
For the most part, the game is comfortable, with two exceptions. First, the ship battle sequences have you circling to get a clear shot at your enemy, which will make some people dizzy or nauseous. Second, and this is the bigger one, there are issues with the depth at which some objects render. By this I mean there are several instances where something that should be in the background, like a beam or a barrel, has the perceived depth of being closer to you than a character standing in front of it. It's difficult to show outside of VR, but suffice it to say that it happens a lot more than it should in a finished game, and it is very uncomfortable when it does happen. In the end, I'd have to say that this is an example of a neat idea poorly executed. You can see the intent, but it just feels very unfinished. The ship combat works, the graphics are consistent, and the music is appropriate, but that's it. If this was intended to be an RPG or a narrative, as the publisher indicates, it fell very short of those goals. The game description promises you a VR pirate RPG with an epic story, and instead gives you 6 pirate ship battle arenas. If the naval battle arenas are exactly what you wanted, then you might enjoy this game. To everyone else, I suggest you let this one float on by. Thanks for watching. Did you agree with my review of Heroes of the Seven Seas? Was I completely wrong or did I miss something? Did this review change your mind about buying the game? Leave a comment to let me know what you think. And if you like what you saw and want to see more of this, hit the like and subscribe buttons. And if you have a specific request for a review, write that in the comments too. Hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.